Well, some believe whether or not they like each other. Subramanian Swamy and Sanjay Jha are inseparable on television, and they are both on different sides tonight. Ashish Khetan of the Aam Aadmi Party, Aryama Sundaram, well-known lawyer. I didn't know I can bring a smile to Professor Vaidyanathan's face. He and I have been disagreeing on most issues of late, and Rahul Narvekar will join us in some time. Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen only tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's start. This is the book, Sanjay Jha, that has stunned everyone. I'm sure it's stunned. Do you have a look at it? Or does the picture of Vinod Rai scare you now?
Not at all, not at all.
Right? The very picture of Vinod Rai scares you.
Not at all.
Because the truth is now out. The cat is out of the bag.
What?
Well, I mean, all these disclosures, they don't amount to much.
No, I think the first question you should have asked Mr. Vinod Rai was,
are you going to tell me the questions that I should ask?
This is one that you definitely missed, considering you're such an expert and a professional I respect a lot. How did this famous report that he's so proud of,
which one,
leak into the media? Now that's a fundamental
Is that
question.
the story?
I think that's a very critical question. Because
well,
I read his interview to the Outlook magazine where he says to the Outlook magazine that, you know what, if I hadn't put those numbers, 176,000 crores and 186,000 crores, those absolutely absurd fantasy numbers, you would not have noticed it. So I think this is a very serious issue as to how did a report which is supposed to be presented by a CAG chief, an independent
which has embarrassed you, greatly,
presented to the
which has embarrassed you greatly,
tabled in Parliament, finds its way to the media.
Well, for the information,
we never even got a chance to
for the information of Sanjay Jha here today, this is the letter that the CAG wrote. Though you should not try to distract the subject. I'm just showing this to you. What is the date of this letter for your information? Would you like to read out the date of the letter?
No, you can read it out. The truth.
No, why don't you want to read it out?
The truth is, since you have read it.
What is the date of the letter? No, what is the date of the letter? The date of the letter is 22nd. What does it say?
Dated March 22nd, 2012, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, and what's the title of this letter? Please look at that camera and tell our viewers what is the title of the letter?
I'm looking at a camera here.
Yeah, what is the title of the letter?
Letter from CAG Vinod Rai to Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, dated 22nd March 2012, on the challenge posed by leak reports.
So he's told the Prime Minister. So why are you making that an issue?
On the challenge posed by leak reports, what Vinod Rai, I haven't read it.
So he's told the Prime Minister.
No, 1 minute.
He's told the Prime Minister.
He said, why did the report get leaked?
He's told the Prime Minister.
Who was responsible for the leak? Because we all know who was the political beneficiary of the leak.
Well, you know, 5 stunning disclosures. All the Congress party said at the start.
And I want to tell you what Manish Tiwari has gone in public. I want to say it at the very beginning of this program. We challenge Mr. Vinod Rai to a public debate on those astronomical, absurd numbers that hurt the Congress party. It did. I will agree.
We as in Manmohan Singh.
I know Manish Tiwari has said so publicly, and I want to also put myself in the ring to say, anytime Mr. Vinod Rai, you want to discuss these numbers in a public debate on Newshour, we are ready for you.
Okay, so you know, just to summarize what Sanjay Jha has been trying to do in the first 3 minutes, it is my observation that Sanjay Jha has conceded he has lost the debate.
Not at all.
He doesn't want to discuss any of the 5 specific points. Please don't interrupt me, Mr. Jha. I let you speak. That he doesn't want to debate any of the 5 specific points.
Now let's come to that.
Each and every one of the disclosures embarrasses him greatly, and that the only defense he has, or should I really call it, you know, a decoy route, is to say that, you know, why did he leak those reports? Well, he first of all, you have no proof that he leaked any report.
All right, so they came to you on a silver platter served by the valet next door.
Why should I tell you how we get our reports?
Okay, all right.
And that's not
you have your rights, but Mr. Vinod Rai owes an explanation to the country as to how did a report that was so damaging in nature, so fictitious in its financial content, reach the media, which actually did not give us a fair opportunity in the UPA to defend those numbers. Because finally, as you know, the Supreme Court trashed the concept of auction to put those numbers as presumptive losses or notional losses, whatever they are, and they have finally
I think first of all you got your facts wrong.
Numbers.
Don't misquote the Supreme Court. I think the first question number 1 tonight.
We have a right to defend.
Question number 1, and either Ashish Khetan or Subramanian Swamy. Maybe Subramanian Swamy goes first there. Subramanian Swamy, my first question is: Vinod Rai says 3 members of Parliament of the Congress party. He names them. Number 1, Ashwini Kumar. Number 2, Sanjay Nirupam. And number 3, Sandeep Dixit came to me and they tell me on the sidelines of the PSC, can you find some way of keeping the Prime Minister out of it? I mean, that's grossly unethical. It's a violation of every norm of propriety, if nothing else. Subramanian Swamy, is that not a key issue?
Well, there's a breach of privilege. Because it's a PAC meeting, Public Accounts Committee meeting, and that is has the power to issue breach of privilege notices. Had this been made known at that time, certainly they would have been subject to a breach of privilege notice. But the important thing is that Mr. Rai did not wilt, despite all this mounting pressure.
Exactly.
And we should appreciate that.
Exactly. Exactly. He did not wilt.
Why did he not raise
One minute.
raise the issues?
That is the most foolish argument I've heard. That is the most foolish.
The BJP government has been formed at the center. Suddenly everybody discovers a certain breakthrough.
Sir, that makes no sense. It's the most foolish argument.
Not at all.
We make specific points and you make generic points in turn. Ashish Khetan.
No, if it's a breach of privilege,
I
must tell you,
Ashish,
if it's a breach of privilege.
Sir, let the others speak.
One last point. If it's a breach of
privilege, we'll discuss breach of privilege later. No, I'm letting Ashish Khetan come.
Listen, Congress doesn't have a defense today.
Ashish Khetan is coming in. Go ahead.
And I must tell you something, Arnab, today. That Mr. Vinod Rai is a very decent and dignified man. Because there was a lot more which was happening. There were other pressures which were being mounted on Vinod Rai, and I know that as a journalist because I was a journalist at that point of time. There was a very, very sinister CBI inquiry that was opened against him.
Exactly, we know that.
There was immense pressure mounted within the PAC and JPC, not by just talking to him in the corridors. He was humiliated, he was embarrassed by Congress members of parliament. And they were all doing it deliberately. They were acting as henchmen of their Prime Minister and of the Congress party, and not as custodians of public interest or representatives of their constituents. These members of parliament were acting as henchmen. There was a lot which was happening, and Vinod Rai has not disclosed it in his book because he's a very dignified man.
Yes, if I may.
I should remind the viewers that there was another drama which was enacted by the Congress party. There was one RP Singh which was propped up. You remember that?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
There was an RP Singh who was propped up.
Oh, yes.
And he was playing in Congress hands.
Oh,
and he was leaking. He is talking about leaks. RP Singh came out with some selective leaks. Where he was hiding and obfuscating facts.
RP Singh went on record to state that he did not agree with the CAG findings.
RP Singh was lying through his teeth.
And he was forced to sign the report on the written instructions from the CAG
and he was doing it at the behest of senior Congress leaders.
So Vinod Rai, who writes the big numbers, is fine. RP Singh, who protests, who's by the way a senior director at the same time as CAG, is wrong simply because he opposes the findings of Mr. Rai.
So one second. So Mr. Sanjay Jha.
Ashish Khetan is now Mr. Sanjay Jha. He is no longer a journalist, so I can understand he's taking a political stance.
And you are a Congress. One minute. One minute. I want to add one thing. Sanjay Jha, and you are with the Congress party.
Yes, I am.
You are also no longer a journalist. Doesn't take away your legitimacy to make your point. My question to you tonight is very clear here. If you say everybody is wrong, then I'd like to get it Professor Vaidyanathan, and then of course, Aryama Sundaram, please do come into the debate whenever you feel like. Otherwise, the politicians will not let you in.
No, I have a lot of respect.
No, 1 second. And in the politicians, I include Ashish Khetan in case you don't like it.
Don't worry, Mr. Sundaram.
The point is this. The Union Commerce Minister, Professor Kamal Nath, writes to the Prime Minister on the afternoon of 3rd November 2007. And he tells him, Mr. Prime Minister, there are sudden and alarming developments in the telecom sector. Please urgently create a group of ministers to look into the matter. And the Prime Minister does nothing. He does absolutely. Now, this is not something Sanjay Jha can say is a lie concocted by Vinod Rai. Who wants to go first? Professor wants to go first. After that, Aryama Sundaram coming to you.
Arnab, can I?
Okay, Aryama Sundaram first. Aryama Sundaram first. Go ahead, Aryama Sundaram. Come in.
Arnab, I think. Look. Being very clearly not a politician here, let me just tell you how I see it as a citizen of India. What has come out from all this is something we have all suspected for some time, but having come from where it has today, it gives a lot more base, more foundation to what we have suspected. And that is that in any kind of scam, there are three different stages of it. It is before the fact, while it is happening, and after the fact. Now, what we have found from all this is that in all three there were failures. Before the scam occurred, there were already warning signs that it could happen, and there was a chance to block it. While it was going on, there were enough signs as to what is happening, and it could have been stopped. After it was over, when it was being detected, there were attempts to cover up. And that is the very disturbing factor which has come out now.
No,
from all that I've been hearing.
but in all of this, and by the way, sorry, your audio line with you is not very clear, as in I'm going to check your mic right now in just a minute. But in all of this, what comes out, there's a man called Manmohan Singh who puts on a straight face, says nothing, and looks hurt every time you ask him a question. And even a person like Subramanian Swamy, in his eagerness only to target the Gandhi family, who must be questioned, spares the Prime Minister because he's not strong enough a political opponent or an adversary for him, perhaps. You know, that's the irony of this situation. Professor Vaidyanathan, yes, please.
I would like to defend myself on that.
So after Professor Vaidyanathan, please.
You have done a great service, Arnab. I should appreciate by this interview. I am devastated to say and speechless because Manmohan Singh is not a run-of-the-mill politician. He was a professor. And that he kept quiet.
Oh, yes.
Knowing fully well that billions of bucks are being looted under his care. Tells only that buck doesn't stop with him actually. Now the question is, why did he keep quiet after knowing all these things? If he has been a puppet, who is the puppeteer?
Yeah, that's the real question.
That is what is of major interest. Because when Maran wrote to him that 2G should be out of GOM, he didn't respond to him. When Raja wrote to him that I am doing this.
No response.
He sent him a standard reply like I received.
No, one second.
No, I want to respond to him.
No, you have.
Once you're finished, Professor.
It is totally.
No, let him finish.
No, I would like, Arnab, I would like that Sanjay something to keep quiet.
No, I'm saying you can please go ahead.
Let me finish my thing. No, let me not be interfered. When he spoke, nobody interfered with him. Now the question is, why did the PM is no more not innocent or anything. Today he has been thoroughly exposed as a man who was in the know of things and gave his nod for all these happenings. In the name of coalition dharma, maximum adharma was taking place.
Yes, and you see, they made him out to be some kind of a deity. No, one second. No, one second. They made him out, Professor.
My point is, no, it is not nudging. It is actually ordering them board.
So I'm coming to the Air India point in a minute. No, I'll come to the Air India point in a minute. My question is tonight, it appears to me that in terms of facts, Sanjay Jha has run out of responses. In which case,
you give me a chance to speak. I have to respond to that great honorable professor.
I think, by the way, this is the book. It's called Diary of the Nation's Conscience Keeper, not just an account. This is the book which is hitting, the bookshelves. No, 1 minute. Before you respond.
There is too much of rhetoric. Nobody is at the moment talking factual data.
Yeah,
and
so
numbers.
here's a factual.
So I'm going to give you one example. Mr. Rai should be asked this question, and the honorable professor sitting there in Bangalore, who's perhaps aware of certain financial techniques, will perhaps answer. How can you value 2G losses, presumptive losses?
Are you going on about the same thing again and again? Are you going on about the same thing again and again?
No, you don't want to hear it?
No, I want to answer.
How can you value 3G costing on 2G
Sanjay Jha, don't go on like a broken record on that one. Don't go on like a broken record on that one.
That's the way the whole figure has been. You could not have done a single program if the number of 176,000 crores was not brought to
I am
telling you and the viewers today.
I am asking asking you.
number is concocted.
I am
and it will
asking.
stand challenged.
I am
And
asking
today
you.
Nobody on the panel can debate that.
I'm ready to take your challenge.
So I am asking you.
Sanjay, I'm ready to take your challenge.
Sure, take it up.
There was not one definitive
1 minute,
figure.
let him speak,
Prove
please.
to me, how did the number come approved
say
today?
There was not one definitive figure. There was a
Can I
band
reply
of
to
figures.
Sorry?
There were a band of figures starting from 60,000 crore to 1.76 crore. And they were all based on statistical information available with the CAG at the time and the information provided by the Finance Ministry. What were the figures based on? The figures were based on an offer made by a telecom company, an offer made in writing that this is the amount that we are willing to pay.
That cannot be the
for
basis
a
of
pan-India
valuation, my
license.
friend.
For
Now,
a pan-India
you know,
license.
Ashish,
You know,
That was
Ashish,
one basis.
you know, one
No,
second.
one minute, I need to answer
No,
this. No,
Sanjay, just stop for a minute and I'll tell the viewers what's
Arnab,
going on.
don't
one
be
second.
dramatic.
No,
I
I'm
mean,
not
you're the
being
facts.
dramatic. I'm making a point to you
Okay,
tonight.
okay.
Right? Don't be facetious. The question.
No, you don't try to be loud to divert the attention either, but go ahead.
Well, don't trivialize this, please.
No,
Let's
I'm
come
not.
to the point.
I have my answers ready.
You have no answers yet.
I have.
Well, you have answers to
I'll
your
prove
own
to you when.
questions.
Let me tell you, Ashish Khetan
you
will
know what is happening here is a very perplexing
Ashish,
attempt.
the
Sanjay.
objective of our government was to create tele-density, to make mobile tariff cheap.
Very old
to make
kite.
mobile
You have been
users
flying
have
this kite for the
access.
last 3
Not
years.
revenue
You have
You have been
maximization.
flying this kite
Not revenue
for the last 3
maximization.
years.
I said this.
Come up
And
with
that is the
something new.
principle
Sanjay Jha.
of the first come,
Neither
first served
tele-density.
basis.
You know, in the Paleolithic
Not-
library of lies, you can go and put your zero loss theory. Now answer my question. The question is simply this. There is a man called Kamal Nath. And I think he has told us, yes, I told the Prime Minister. On the 3rd of November, Kamal Nath writes to the Prime Minister, there is something very alarming going on in the 2G sector. 2007. The Prime Minister says, I never knew these are compulsions of coalition politics. Which compulsion of coalition politics forces the Prime Minister of a country to lie? Not just that, Subramanian Swamy, what I find very interesting is the description of a meeting that Vinod Rai talks about. He says that Pranab Mukherjee was very concerned about what he got to know what's happening in the coal sector. And when I told him, he says, Pranab Mukherjee says, let's go and meet the Prime Minister and tell him about it. And then Pranab Mukherjee and Vinod Rai go and tell the Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, something very dangerous is happening in the coal sector. And the Prime Minister of India, Subramanian Swamy, takes the advice of Sri Prakash Jaiswal but not Pranab Mukherjee. I don't know which school of economics told Manmohan Singh to listen to Sri Prakash Jaiswal and not Pranab Mukherjee.
I'll answer that. I'll answer that. You see, first of all, the congressman made it very clear from day one that the setup was a diarchy. They said that Manmohan Singh and Sonia Gandhi were working perfectly in tandem and that the government was run as a diarchy. A number of times they have made this statement. Now what you want to do is to put the entire blame on Manmohan Singh. Now, Professor Vaidyanathan pertinently asked, if Manmohan Singh was a puppet, who was a puppeteer? We need to know why is it that the president of the Congress party never intervened? Because she was on the side of Raja. She was on the side of Kalmadi. She was on the side of all the crooks.
Dr. Swamy, I think we should avoid slander here. We should avoid
What slander?
This is
Go to
brazen,
court and file a case. I'll show you what is it.
Blatant
He's
slander.
telling you, go file a case, he says.
Well, let me tell you.
Go file a case.
Let me tell you
File a
something.
case.
Dr. Swamy,
Where's the slander? Then file a case then.
I want to ask him a question. Dr.
No.
Swamy, since you have been in the 2G story, apparently you've been covering it in great detail. Let me ask you.
What covering? I went to the court and got your licenses cancelled.
Didn't A. Raja change the norm of the first come, first served allocation, which is, by the way, the crux of the entire 2G issue, which is from
is
the
not the
cutoff
crux.
date, he changed it on the same day.
It is not
to
the
who
crux.
makes the payment first.
The crux
I don't
is
think anybody
the
was
crux
aware of it in the UPA
the crux of
government
the 2G
other than the
spectrum.
telecom minister A. Raja.
Oh,
And
Aryaman
that's the
Sundaram,
reason
Aryaman
why the
Sundaram,
Prime
no,
Minister
that's
was
not the
aware
point.
of it.
No, that's Aryaman
And
Sundaram
that's the
getting
reason why
involved.
Mr. A. Raja went to jail.
Aryaman
And that's the
Sundaram.
reason why A. Raja is responsible
Rubbish.
to a great extent for
Aryaman
what's gone
Sundaram,
wrong.
what are you making of this defense that Sanjay Jha puts up tonight?
Well, that is the whole issue.
Let Aryama Sundaram
How
come
the
in. Please
rules
don't
were
dominate
changed.
the entire debate.
The rules were changed within
Aryaman
one day by the telecom minister.
He's laughing.
As
He's
a
laughing.
lawyer, Arnab,